Real quick.
Johnny wants to come down too.
Show and tell. This is a generator. You guys might not quite understand. We got our safety instructor over here in the back. This is a real quick explanation of, what you need, who to look for, what you need, especially when you're on the phone. You're not on the site, and that's the hard part. When you got your technician on site, you got the subcontractor on site. So one of the things, loss of power, need a generator. It's an emergency, 1 or 2 hour response. So that's what we're looking for. We need a generator right away. Okay. Try to get a contact at the site, and cell phone and landlines, whatever it might be. Whatever landlines might not be working. So then you look, hey, how big is the store? Talk to the person at the site. How big is the store? What kind of power? So that's what you're looking for. Normal CVS will take something. This is actually a smaller one. This is 100 kW. It's about 350 amps, 400 amps. It's the ones we use for CVS are about 1.5 times the size of it, so about 150, 175 kW, so they're a lot bigger. What we do is, technician goes to the site, finds out the power, and that's one of the reasons why you see what type of power when you're calling for a generator. So here in the generator, there's a switch here. It can handle all kinds of power. 3-phase, which is the 208, 230 you guys normally deal with here in the building and all the other stores. And the other one is 480, 277. Okay? Single phase, everybody's got like a home. It's for your house. But these two are for commercial applications. That's important. Some of the generators that we rent don't have that switch. So you have to ask. You got to make sure. Okay? Where's the power panel in the building? Okay, obviously we're out here, but you got to locate the power panel in the building. These are the cables that go to the panel, okay, or the disconnect. So what happens is that now, since we hooked up, now these got to go to that panel and the disconnect. Now where do we go? How far is that panel? So we got to make sure we position this guy, since it's a trailer, as close as we can to the panel of the building. If there's no access, what we do is we open up a hole. Yeah, we kick a hole in the thing. We open up a hole in the building. We have some foam spray after we pass the cables through. So one of the other things we ask the building is the technician on site, you have lugs. How are you going to attach it to the panel? There's 3 ways to attach it to a panel. If they have a disconnect outside, it goes right to the disconnect. Very simple. Okay. The other way are lugs. There's 2 types of lugs. There's non-insulated lugs. You don't want to touch these when they're gone because they'll kill you. And then the insulated lugs. These you can handle. Insulated lugs is when you take the feeds that go into the main panel, you put them with the generator. So you would install a generator here. Better yet, I have one here. So you would install a generator cable here, and then the rest of the feeds that go into the building, and then you have power into the building. You cover these up, make sure they're safe, nobody's touching these, and they're not loose. Insulated lugs, non-insulated lugs actually go attached to the panel inside the building. That's why there's a screw and nut here. They go right into the panel, into the bus bar. Sorry. So there's 4 cables we run. 4 cables we run to the building. Okay. There's 3 hots and a neutral. There's colors, as you can see on these. You'll see them on the ground. There's a black, a red, and a blue. The blue you can barely see, and a white. White in commercial applications always neutral. That's one thing. If you cross with this white in a panel somewhere with a hot lead, not good. Okay?
That's the last thing you did.
Yes, not good. Okay?
Those rubber gloves aren't going to help?
No. It's not that it will shock you. It will fry all the systems in the building. The lights and stuff like that. So one of the panels, always check. You have one person check the neutral. Make sure the neutral goes from the neutral in the generator to the neutral bar inside the building. Okay? That's a huge question to make sure, especially with a technician. Okay, you fire up the generator. What happens? How many times we've been working on hurricanes and you get work orders from CVS saying, "Hey, my air conditioning is not working. It's running backwards." Right? That's right, Jim. Change your rotation. Everything that's 3-phase you can change the rotation. Any motor that's 3-phase, a rotation can be changed. The way to change the rotation Obviously, turn the generator off, turn the power off to the building, and you can switch any one of these 3 hot leads with each other. So you can go black to red, red to black, blue to red, red to blue, however you want to do it. And that motor will start running the opposite way again. Okay? Very important, especially to test it out before the technician leaves. Tools that we use. Hot gloves. This is important for our technicians. Ask the technicians if they're using hot gloves. When they go to install something in the panel, they need hot gloves. Here's why. We don't know if the power company is up the street working on the panel. On the power. And as their work, as our guide, it's happened to us hundreds of times. As we're working in the panel, the actual power comes back on. So if your hands or something, if you're grounded somewhere, you got a big problem if you're not wearing this. Okay? This is a safety issue. Tools that you would use: you got sets of Allen wrenches. These are for the lugs. Ratchet sets. You have razors to cut the wire. You have meters to test the voltage. Caution tape. There's pictures in your thing where you see the guy. We caution tape everything around. These are wire cutters and the lugs like we spoke about. One of the big things is fuel on these things. This unit will run a CVS type store for 2 days without refueling. But 2 days is not enough, because what happens is depending on how much electricity is used, that's how much fuel is going to be burned. So we don't know. So we fuel every single day. The tank is actually here. The tank is inside the fuel, inside the trailer. So it's diesel fuel. We fuel it up every single day. One of the big things about sourcing fuel is how much can you get, how fast can you get it, is one of the questions we ask, and can you put me on a route? A lot of times Sunbelt, like the company we rented this from, will say, hey, I have a fueling truck, I can take care of you guys. That's the first person we ask. Okay? Questions?
How many gallons did you say it takes to fill this up?
This unit, I think, is this unit, but normal units this size are about 200, 250 gallons.
I missed the part about the switch thingy.
Okay, the top switch, what it is to determine the voltage. When you go in your house is single phase, 208, 230 volts. That's one of the things. Some of the buildings have 208, 233 phase or 480, 277, and that's when you need to switch. Now here's the big thing. If it is 208, 230, and the technician goes to install, and it's on the 480, 277, we've replaced over 250 ballasts inside of CVS because a smart guy never tested the voltage before they're putting it on, okay? That's very, very important.
Do they have to test it, JC, or is it somewhere on the
Yep. Here's what you do. Back here, guys, I know it's back here when you guys leave. There's voltage regulators. We'll tell you. These things are really quiet. We can turn it on. So there, you can test the voltage, Mary. In here. Or it'll tell you out back. One of the big things, the nice things about
Trying to
the
get
new ones
electrocuted.
is that they have, like when our guys are on the hurricanes and we carry refrigerators, we carry freezers and stuff for our people to eat, microwaves. It's got all these plugs and things that we can use, which is nice. So, any other questions, Brian? Just put that switch in the middle.
How many techs would be recommended send someone out for a call like this?
It's a tech and a helper job.
Okay.
Always. These cables, as you can see, they're all copper. They're not light. To take the trailer off the trucks, things like that. They take time. Open up holes, drag wires. It's always a tech and a helper. Always. But
I think one of the biggest things to remember is the techs have to disconnect Progress Energy first. Because if they're running this and that, or if it comes up like JC was talking about, those two systems are going to buck each other and you got to buy them.
One of the main things here, guys, is safety. When your electrician's on site, like Steve was saying, is you have to tag out and lock out. You basically lock out. We don't use tags or in our company, but we lock out the power. We had one in Louisiana where a manager called, where RFM for CVS called and said your guy hooked up the generator wrong, and it blew the generator. Well, when I got there, everything looked right, and then I asked the store manager, what happened? The store manager says, well, the energy company came in and said, I have commercial power, I can remove the generator, so I went and flipped the switch. And it blew out the bottom of this generator. I mean, and it was like $60,000 to repair, so it was not easy. It wasn't our fault, but you got to make sure you lock things out. It's you know, Laysdale's been out there. Kristen and Christina have been out there. So, can you hook that up, Steve? Any questions?
Light capacity of this and the band's totals.
No, that's one great question. Something I forgot to add. Jim was talking about it. Jim asked me, why do you need such a big truck? You tow a big boat. I said, no, I usually tow generators for a big boat. And it's the only trucks in our company that can tow these generators is the dump truck, my truck, and Kevin's truck. That's it. No more. Do not, by any means, do not let a technician tow his truck, his van, a generator of this size.
Yeah.
Yeah, vans have. Ask Mario Perez.
Yeah.
He blew a tire. He flipped the generator, flipped his van on I-4, and they skid about 150 feet on its side. So these things weigh anywhere from 12 to 16,000 pounds fully loaded. When you ride in my truck, which is one of the bigger trucks, and even the dump truck, you feel every bit of it. So, yeah, you feel every bit of it. Do not let the guys drive these trucks. That's one of the things. Is we talk about generator companies and deliveries. If they can deliver them, if it's a one-off type deal and it's only one store, by all means have them get delivered. We don't have any vans in the field that can tow this. They're too big. Now the ones that are running Office Depot are 3 times the size. So, you know, put yourself in perspective. This is 100 kW. The ones that run Office Depots, the whole Office Depot are about 300 kW. They're huge. Yeah, they come out on trailers. They still come out on trailers. They're still trailer mounted, but they'll have triple axles. And those I won't forward with my truck. Those are for semis or
We got one that can crane block them too.
yeah. Yeah. The only reason we don't do, when we rent, we always rent trailer mounted generators. We don't rent anything else. The reason we do that is what?
You can switch it to another store.
You gotta move it somewhere.
Once you get the power restore, you can take it.
You can take it. The other thing is, with CVS in a hurricane situation or a tornado situation, they'll have 150 stores down and only 50 generators. So what happens? This power comes up, they want to move this one to that one, and it'll take the act of God to move stuff like that. So it's always trailer mounted.
Does one generator run one store, or can you hook up multiple? Do you need multiple for bigger stores? Or?
No. A generator a little bit bigger than this will run a whole CVS with air conditioning, coolers, everything. So when you get to a store during a hurricane and they have a generator on of this size, it's like nothing ever happened. And that's their big thing. They want customers to be comfortable. They want to sell ice. One of the big things CVS does is they distribute ice for free, and then they want to have it at stores that are open, things like that.
JC, not every electrician can hook up a generator, right?
Not every electrician can hook a generator, guys. They gotta know, because the generator that we have down the shop is one of the ones I was going to do show and tell with, and that's just like you would hook up for your house to plug in your refrigerator, and that's it. Anybody could do that.
That's what I thought he was using, the red one.
This is not, that's why I'm saying, the questions on that form are very, very important to ask the people. You know, have you ever hooked up a generator this size? You know, do you have this proper equipment? If the guy says, if you ask him, do you have lugs for this? And he goes, what are those?
Forget it.
Okay. Yes. You know, with our people, guys, safety here is the key. A lot of times we hook up generators, and to disconnect them, there's live power, and those are things you want to avoid. You got to get power companies. You know, we do it We do it. We've done it. It's not safe, but we've done it in a situation.